Greetings, everybody. Catherine here with For a Life Worth Living. It's a lovely evening. Petey and I are out for a walk, and I wanted to share with you something I've been going through in recent weeks that has to do with my own recovery. I had, I guess like in May, which would have been a couple months ago, I was feeling victorious, that I had a great visit with my family, and just like, man, you know, I made it. I can't believe I made it. And I was feeling so good. And the doctors were saying things were in alignment. And, you know, I was healing physically, and just a lot of things were falling into place. And then the next thing I did was start feeling discombobulated, like out of sorts. I was restless. I just couldn't figure out what was bothering me so much. And then finally I realized what was going on. I had one more thing to process. And in my childhood, ages 12 and 13, I had 2 years that I had totally blanked out. And in my recovery, I had made my peace with the idea that I would never know what those stories were. I tried to find out what they were. It's kind of like knocking on the door, like, anybody in there? You know, and trying to force the stories so I could get a move on and get healed. And I finally realized that just wasn't going to happen. So I literally made my peace. Okay, that's 2 years. I'm just not going to know what happened or why I felt the need to blank those years out. And part of that discombobulation, it felt like I was in one room and I was walking down a long hallway to get to another room. And I thought, well, that's a puzzling image. But what it was, the second room was sorrow. And I was grieving the things I had lost, you know, lost my childhood. It wasn't a feeling sorry for myself, but it was true grieving that years and family connections and dreams had been lost. And really all I had devoted my life to in recent years was my recovery, just trying to gain my sanity, you know. And so I did gain my sanity. And so I would say my recovery was fighting for my sanity, and now I'm learning to live with my sanity. So anyway, that restless feeling, what I finally realized is the blank years were waking up. The stories of what I couldn't remember for so long started speaking. And I did what I do. I get my pencil and paper and I act like the listener, and I let the story tell me about itself. And so sometimes I would wake up at midnight and write till 3 o'clock in the morning, or I'd wake up at 2, write till 6. And my lifestyle is such to where I could sleep when I wanted to. And so I kept writing and writing. I still didn't write all of it, but what also came up was the pain that girl was carrying. And I got to tell you, I'm 69 years old, and I felt her pain. And side note, body memories are real. So I was going through body memories of the pain she was feeling. I was 69 years old, and I just about couldn't handle it. I mean, it was a lot, and I said, no wonder she checked out. No wonder that part of me checked out. It made perfect sense, and I had no judgment toward her whatsoever, but I tried to be that one person that she could tell her story to, and she did, and she just kept talking and talking. We're still not through, but maybe we are. Because last night I had, I don't even know what you would call it. It was a revelation. Let's call it a revelation. Because when you're writing the story, you're peeling away layers, and you finally get to the truth. And I saw a truth that I could not even conceive or imagine. And it just about wiped me out. I cried like for 12 hours. I mean, I would sleep sometimes, have little breaks of sleep, but I just cried and cried and cried. It was just so horrible when I saw the deepest part of the story that had been hidden for so long, and I felt it, and I prayed, and I felt it, and I prayed, and I just God, please help me get through this. Jesus, please help me get through this. And I did get through it. I did get through it this morning, a little bit before lunchtime, and I'm okay. I can't tell you how surprised I am, relieved, but I'm okay. She needed to be heard. She needed to be loved. She needed her truth to be respected and believed, and I gave her all that. And I have a teddy bear that represents her, and you know, we talked about broken heart syndrome and pressing that pillow or stuffed animal against your chest to comfort your heart, so I was doing a lot of that. And we got through it. It took about, I guess it was 3 weeks, and I don't mean 3 weeks every day, because I had other things to do too, but I couldn't go too long without getting back to the writing and finding out more. I had to do that for her because nobody else had ever been there for myself at that age. Also at that age, part of her angst, I mean, think about normal child development. You've got, for a girl, you got the hormones coming up, trying to figure out where they belong. You have girls. I was new, and the girls were real cliquish, and I didn't fit in. So there was that. There's a lot of violence and abuse going on at home. There was no place for me, so I just checked out. And I must have completed my schoolwork, and you know, those 2 years in junior high, and I mean, because I graduated from high school, no problem. And I certainly lived through that. I just didn't remember any of that. So now I know what the story is, and I felt the pain that I was carrying back then, and I would say spiritually it was lifted off of me. The divine hand reached down and lifted it off of me is all I can say. There were not enough tears to cry over that part of my life. And so I just want to acknowledge to anybody doing the work or considering doing the work. It is hard. Not every day's hard. But there are some hard times where feeling, and the tears are the stage of letting go, where you truly can let go. And I'm not one to cry. I'll do everything I can not to cry, just because my abusers would have a look of happiness on their face when I cried. So you know, internally, I had internalized that to not cry. But now I'm safe. I do not have harmful people around me, and I could sit with myself and cry and comfort myself. And I would say spiritually I was comforted as well. So I got to the other side, feeling a lot better, kind of peaceful and quiet inside, and not really lost, but just kind of, I wouldn't even say dazed, just, I don't feel like I'm the same person I was yesterday or last month or last year. Something has changed, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. Oh, Lord, thank you. So just wanted to share that part of my story with you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share the hope. You know, I'm not saying anybody viewing this video is required to go through the depths of what I've done. In fact, I would hope that in my videos, with the tips that I give you, it doesn't have to be as extreme as mine, that you can work through it, because so much of my recovery is me just figuring things out. And if you'll take some of the things I've suggested and practice them, you do not have to go through the figuring out stage. Or if you really do not believe something I suggest, at least you have permission to figure things out for yourself. whatever will comfort you and strengthen you. So thank you for listening to my story about this particular chapter of my recovery, and God bless you, and please share this and share the hope. Bye-bye.